It can be really hard being a skater in winter in Canada, especially being a surf skater, because we only have really one consistent place to skate. It's this indoor skate park in Ottawa. And if you're a surf skater, this park wasn't exactly designed with surf skaters in mind. There's 4 different sections, and variously they can get really busy. So you need to be adaptable to move around to the least busy section, or you're just wasting your money. After a lot of hours spent in this indoor park over the winters, I started to realize that you need a specific setup for each section because the bowl is pretty tight. The big air section can be tough to use on some surf skates. The street section is not really great for typical surf skate flow, and the pump track has a few little intricacies. And there's a secret for doing this. I use the Quick Truck click release system, which lets me quickly change the wheels and the surf skate trucks that I use for each section. So I thought I'd walk you through how to use quick trucks to get the most out of any session that has really varied terrain that might benefit from different surf skate trucks and wheels. And let's start out with the street section. It's pretty flat. You can see it's more geared towards skateboarding. So I like to use the Carver C5 system, which is kind of like a hybrid between a skateboard and a surf skate truck. You can still pump and flow, but it's a little bit lower to the ground. It's nice and tucked away. It grinds really well. And you'll see I've paired it with the Santa Cruz Slime Balls wheels, which are 95A geometer and 60 millimeters. I like a smaller wheel, and I can get away with a harder wheel because you're doing less pumping here. And that's going to let you nose slide better. You're not going to get hung up. The smaller wheel will release from grinds a little bit easier, and you don't sacrifice too much. You do lose grip a little bit now and then, but this is one section where I like that smaller, harder wheel. Tail slides like that just work a lot better. The other thing with the Carver C5 trucks is they're one of the few surf skate trucks that you can ride fairly easily going fakie. So that let me try stuff like this, like going fakie into a tail slide. Let's move on next to a section that's really popular and often hard to get into, the pump track. Here's a place where I need a little bit more flow and you want to have more grip for this. So I prefer going with the Carver C7s here with a wheel that has a little bit more grip. In this case, I have the Waterborne Living Water wheels. I think they're 83A geometer and they work pretty well. For wheels, I have a little bit more flexibility on the pump track. If I want to just ride and cruise like this, I'll use a bigger wheel. But if I want to hit some of the jumps, those little kickers, then I will use a smaller wheel, as I find it's a little bit easier to launch from and land on a smaller wheel. Third section is the bowl, and this bowl is really small. It's very tight. I find with a lot of surf skate trucks, it doesn't work great. A lot of skateboarders have trouble finding flow in this bowl. So I like the really loose trucks that Curveboard makes, and again I like a small wheel with more grip. I find that the smaller wheel will release well from grinds because the Curveboard trucks grind like butter around the coping here. So I have right now the Curveboard trucks paired with the Powell Peralta Ratbones wheels, which are 90A in geometer and again I think 60 millimeters in size. And these just work amazing. This combination and this tiny bowl lets you really flow around the corners. I can launch into inverts. I can lock on the coping and grind around the corner and never lose my speed. The Curveboard trucks accelerate so fast, so even in this tight space, I can pick up speed coming around the corners. And you can see they just grind so well. I've slowed it down for this last one so you can get a good look at how the combination of the Curveboard truck and that smaller Powell Peralta Ratbone wheel releases. Now let's compare that. For example, here I've got a Carver C7 truck with the larger 64 millimeter G-Bones wheels, and you can see when I try to come out of the grind that I get hung up. So I just find the Curveboard with the 90A 60 millimeter Ratbones perfect for this bowl. This clip is just showing again the flow you can get from that Curveboard and Powell Peralta Ratbones combination. In all of these clips, I'm using the Whitetail Whale Shark Surfskate deck. And again, I just love having the Quick Trucks click release system so that I can just take that one deck and then switch up to the boards and wheels that I need for the job. So moving on to the final section is the big air and vert section, and this is a spot where those earlier Carver C5s with the slick wheels that I was using are not ideal. You can see I slid out a number of times when I tried it here. So here the key thing is I want to have a grippier wheel. This is with the Surfskate Love 78A durometer wheels, or actually I think these are the 80A ones. Because when you're doing a big bird slide on that vert wall, you need to have some grip coming out of it or you're just going to slide out. Here I'm using the waterborne wheels. You can see how they just regained their traction and time to get up and ride away, unlike those harder wheels that just slid right out. With trucks, I have a little bit more flexibility on this part of the park. There's only two things that I don't use, and those are the Swell-Tech trucks and the Curveboard trucks, because the roll-in is the best way to get speed to get high up to this wall. And on both of those super loose systems, when I've rolled in, I've had some issues with the trucks actually like turning all the way and buckling, so I have to use the drop-in option instead, and it just can't maintain enough speed to hit the wall at full speed. So basically any Surfskate truck other than the Swell-Tech and Curveboard is my preferred for this section. So I know I've said a lot, I've raved on and on about them, but the Quick Trucks quick release system is such a game changer for me when it came to coming to this park. I only need to bring a small little duffel bag that has all my different trucks and wheels already set to go and just switched up as I go. I am a team rider for Quick Trucks, so if you're interested in getting 15% discount off of a purchase of a pack of quick release plates or quick release deck plates, you can use the code LandlockedSurfer. That'll save you 15%. I don't get a commission or anything from that, but I just want more people using these because they're such a brilliant idea. Thanks for watching, guys.